Welcome back to September favorites.
Jazz hands. All right.
Let's prevent any more catastrophes and just go straight into it.
Okay. The first thing I just quickly want to get out of the way, and I'm going to talk quick. Body Shop, this body butter that you spoke about last month. I went and bought it. I'm almost finished it. It's amazing. I can't say enough good things about it.
So
it's
good.
So delicious.
Fragrance.
Oh, it's so good. So just so you know that she enables me as much as she enables you. So that one.
Okay, my first one is, it's a little bit boring, but it's just one of those things that I've realized I use all the time and I haven't mentioned in the favorites yet. And it is the Redken Hair Cleansing Cream Shampoo. And it's effectively a clarifying shampoo. And previously I've always used Lush I Love Juicy.
I Love Juicy. It's quite
and
stripping.
I also have, it's quite drying. And I also have the Avalon Organics Lemon Clarifying Shampoo, which is nice, but it doesn't really do enough of, it doesn't actually clarify your hair that well. So anyway, we were sent this as part of a package of a few other Redken products, and I was really pleasantly surprised by it. It just, I don't know what to say beyond the fact that it really does the job and it does it well. It breaks down any kind of build-up in your hair, and it's gentle, but it doesn't dry out your hair, and it does the job. So
it smells good too.
Fabulous stuff.
I've got two mascaras. The first is Maybelline Lash Sensational. Bloody brilliant. And the next one, God, I hate the name of this. Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, and it is fantastic. Sorry to tease you, I know you can't get it here. It makes you look like you just have all of the lashes in the world. It does transfer on the bottom, so I haven't been using it on my bottom lashes, but it's amazing, and a breeze to remove, which is great. Then when you can get locally, this is also fantastic, kind of similar effect. It gives you lots and lots and lots of lashes, but also can transfer on the top if you're not careful. Yeah, so two really, really brilliant mascaras.
Okay, another one that's also super practical and maybe not that glamorous, but it is the Crest 3D White Strips Luxe Professional Effects, because they come in 85 different variants. I can't remember why I got this one. I think actually Fleur de Force might have recommended this.
Oh, maybe.
And I found it on the Biovia website, and it's a lot cheaper than in-chair whitening. I've had that done, and I think it was about $2,000. These were, I think they were about 750 Rand. I know I did use a discount, and the website often has discounts on it, so keep an eye out for those. I did wait until there was a sale on before I bought these, because I knew that I could get them cheaper. Anyway, the point is you get 20 treatments in each box, and I've used them 3 times now, and my teeth are remarkably whiter. I had them whitened.
They really are.
I had them whitened when I got my braces off, which was 2 years ago now, and that worked really well. But over time, because I drink a lot of tea, they do start to kind of get a bit more stained, and I do naturally have slightly yellower teeth, so they do need to be maintained, and this is a much cheaper way of doing it, and they work even better than I expected. I really wasn't sure. I know some people do get quite bad sensitivity from tooth whitening, and I've got a couple of friends who literally couldn't even go to work the next day because they were in so much pain after having their teeth whitened, whether with strips or in chair. But I don't get that personally, so it doesn't give me any sensitivity. It's convenient. You literally peel off the strips, stick them on your teeth. They're very, very sticky, and then you leave them on for half an hour. And I do that kind of every other day, if I can remember. And yeah, like I said, I've done it 3 times now. I'll probably do it maybe once or twice more, and then I'll leave it for 6 months or a year and see how I go. So really, really good investment if you're looking to get your teeth whitened and want to give it a try. So love that stuff.
This is a lovely, lovely hand cream from a brand called SHAMPOO. This is the most incredible hand cream I've ever used. It's kind of an age antidote, so it's got lots of hyaluronic acid and other really great plumping ingredients. It does have quite a silicone-y feel when you put it on, but it really, I've never felt my hands feel that good after the application of a hand cream, ever, and it smells delicious. So it's a really lovely investment. It's a beautiful gift. Would be a lovely thing for moms, aunts, grandmothers.
It's a very good mom present. It's great stuff. It smells. And it's incredibly smoothing. It
really
crazy.
is.
I remember the first time I used it, I messaged Camilla and was like, what is happening to my hands?
Yeah. It's like you sit there and you're like, oh, that feels so good.
Baby skin. Okay, next up for me is a little mask, and it's by a South African brand called Squin, and it's their overnight hydrating mask, and it's called the Ruby Marine. And I've used quite a lot of it. You can see it's a very pale pink color. It's a coconut oil based mask, and when I first put it on, I didn't know that, and I was a bit like, ooh, this is quite oily, and having oily skin, normally hydrating masks for me are more about things with humectants in them, so I wasn't really sure. And then I actually left it on overnight, and the next day my skin was so smooth and amazing. And I've been using it ever since. I used it last night. I use it regularly, probably about once a week. It's just beautiful. It's made of all natural things. It's made locally. It smells delicious. It's a lovely brand. So they sent us a couple of samples, and in fact, if you do the skin analysis on their website, they will send you a few samples of their products for you to try, which I just think is brilliant, because that's the best way to trial skincare. So I've got a few things from them, but that's definitely the standout for me. I love that. It's really, really good.
Okay, another one, sadly not available here. My bad. Lorac Pro palette. Now, the black shadow arrived completely smashed.
So upsetting.
Oh, it made me so sad. But I mean, black is not a shadow I use ever, so I wasn't that devastated. So I reformulated it using some 70% alcohol. You kind of drop it into the powder, and then you can smush it, and it reformulates, which is brilliant. Anyway, that aside, fantastic. Obsessed. Just a great selection, all matte, all shimmers, all really pigmented. They blend really well. They last really well. I can't say enough good things. I mean,
super usable colors.
Very usable. I mean, I know you've had it. I've wanted it for ages, and I just bit the bullet, and I'm just completely and utterly obsessed with it.
It's beautiful.
Sure.
Along that vein, I also have an eyeshadow palette, and it's a little treat I bought myself from Zoeva, and it is the Naturally Yours eyeshadow palette. These are the colors, and look, I know it looks like just another boring neutral eyeshadow palette, and when I first opened it, I had the same opinion, and then I started swatching them, and I was really pleasantly surprised to find that a lot of them have a very subtle duochrome effect. So they aren't just boring, bog standard neutral shadows. They're much more interesting. The palette in general is much more interesting than I expected. There's a shade called Forever Yours, which is like a brown purple duochrome, which is stunning. It's got all of your essentials in it.
It's also beautiful.
Gorgeous reddy brown. It's got a warm dark brown, a very, very dark charcoal, a good crease color, a pale, bone color. Everything you could possibly need, but it's the formulation and the pigments are just that much more interesting than a naked palette, or just a kind of a neutral palette. So very pleasantly surprised by that. The colors gorgeous, very, very pigmented, very, very soft and smooth, lovely to use. I am so obsessed with that palette. I think it's gorgeous, and it's cheap. What was it, like 20 euros?
No, it was less. It was like
15 euros?
15 euros
Crazy
or something.
cheap.
Continuing on the Zoeva vein, and forgive me, the brushes are not clean, but we've just filmed tutorials, so that's why. I bought the Rose Gold Luxury Set Volume 2, and then I bought a few kind of standalone brushes. I'll put the link below for the blog post where I wrote about everything. And I've been using them, and I love them all, but these are kind of the stars of the show for me. So this is the Luxe Cheek Finish. Beautiful. Feels like a bunny's tail against your skin, and it just picks up the perfect amount of product, just blends it beautifully. I love it. Then also the Luxe Crease brush. I do have a MAC, I can't remember what the number is, like a kind of a pointed blending brush, but I find this to be more precise. I really love this for getting kind of like in the crease. Then this one is down to Julia, because I saw her using it on a friend whose wedding makeup we did recently, and this is the 142 Concealer Buffer Brush. I do have an angled Kabuki concealer brush from Sigma, which I do love, but this one is just brilliant for getting right in there and just pushing in your corrector and making sure that it doesn't smudge or move. And it's also really nice for getting around the nose, and it does under eye concealer really nicely. And then this is the Luxe Petite Crease, which is kind of the baby sister of this one. Also brilliant, like really good for precise kind of, if you wanted to do a cut crease, I think this would be the perfect brush. Such good value, these brushes.
So cheap!
I mean,
So if it does ship to South Africa, you will have to put up with customs. It's a fact of life, unfortunately. So if you do want to get your hands on them, check out the website. The value is amazing. Okay, next up for me are some new products from L'Oreal, and they are the Infallible Mattifying Base and Foundation. So I'll start with the base. First of all, can't use them together. Ooh, no, face will fall off. Too dry, doesn't happen. Ugh. If you're looking for a really affordable mattifying primer, however, this is really good. You need the tiniest amount. So use just literally as little as you can get away with, and also let it dry. So I only use it on my T-zone where I get the most oily. It lasts all day long. I actually was quite shocked by how little oil buildup I had by the end of the day, and let me tell you, it's normally a bit of an issue. So I think this tube will last you forever. The one it reminds me of is the Body Shop Insta Blur, which I personally just couldn't get on with. Every time I use it, it pilled, no matter how little I used. This, if you put too much on, will do the same thing, but I just find in general it's a better primer. So that's amazing. And then the foundation is also incredible. It's the most mattifying foundation I've ever put on my face. Like, it's almost too mattifying for me, and like I say, I've got oily skin, so just be careful if you do have even remotely dry skin. I really don't think this is for you. I think Camilla's face would literally just implode.
It's my worst nightmare.
But if you are looking for something to help you with shine, it is amazing. It's quite high coverage, comes in a very, very wide shade range, which I think is quite impressive, and it's drugstore, so it's relatively cheap. I've got the shade number 22 Radiant Beige, if you're interested, and that's awesome. I love it.
Okay, so another one from Americas. This is the RMS Beauty Living Luminizer, which is the most beautiful highlighter I've ever used in my life. It's so sheer and so luminizing and glowy without looking greasy. It doesn't feel sticky on the skin. It's just the most incredible consistency. It is sensational, just makes you look healthy and, you know, vibrant, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It lasts really well as well, and it's nice and compact. You can keep it in your handbag, kind of top up during the day. Yeah.
I think because it's quite, the way it's formulated, I reckon that tub would last you a long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how I'll get through it all.
Yeah. Okay, my last one is possibly my favorite for the month, and it is a fragrance from Victor and Rolf, and it is Flower Bomb Extreme. It's obviously a new version of the much loved Flower Bomb fragrance, which is now 10 years old.
Is and
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel ancient.
And I don't know how to explain it. I'll leave some fragrance notes below, but it's just incredibly
delicious.
Gorgeous. Like it's super wearable. It's floral, but it's sexy. It's not too sickly sweet. You'll hear me always say that about perfumes I like, because I don't like anything too sweet. But it's a lovely evening fragrance for summer, I reckon, and then like in winter probably more. You could get away with it day to day, but it's rich and floral and gorgeous, and if you haven't gotten your nose into that yet, then I highly recommend you go have a look.
My last one, continuing on the fragrance note, is this fragrance from Alaya. It's his debut fragrance. And
it's an Alaya.
It's an Alaya. If you don't get that reference, we can't be friends. It just is the most delicious thing I've smelt in a really long time. I can't remember the last time I bought myself a fragrance. So the fragrance has been designed to be so complex that you actually can't identify the notes and you can't really describe it. So I'm not going to try. I'm just going to tell you that it is the sexiest, most delicious thing.
It really is beautiful.
I mean, I just can't get enough of it. I do think it's more of a winter fragrance, but that ain't going to stop me using it year round. And I love the detailing on the bottle. I think the gold, like a spun gold top, and then it's got this kind of intricate detail on the bottle. I just think it's too beautiful for words.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So yeah.
Good Christmas present.
Lovely Christmas present. All right, so that's it. That's another month gone. Another month closer to Christmas.
It's coming!
Have a lovely month, and we'll see you again at the end of October for another round of favorites.
And subscribe, please, if you have not already.
Do that.
Okay, bye! It's colour all the time. I love MAC Ruby Woo, but that is easily the most drying lipstick I've ever put on my face, and it makes my lips want to fall off.